Sebastian Sterling. I'm a journalist for a local news station, and I am to inform you about a serious problem that most of you may or may not know. They always think of this annoying pest that always bothers them and ruins everything. And it's just so annoying. Just get out of here already. They may be small and insignificant, but they actually play a major role in our society. And you might be asking, how could something that just wants to hurt me and cause me a full minute of just pain and suffering and annoyance be helpful to me at all? They play a major role in our society. They are responsible for most of the food you might eat. That being said, here is a specialist, Abigail Morrison, to explain this for me. Here we have bee specialist Abigail Morris. So Abby, care to explain how exactly bees are important to us?
So bees actually pollinate most common foods that we eat. To list a few, apples, grapes, and even coffee beans.
Here's a list to show you a few more things bees are responsible for pollinating.
Wow, even coffee beans? I didn't know that.
That's right. Bees pollinate from strawberries all the way to avocados. So if bees die, no more coffee.
Wow, thank you, Abby, for coming here today. You were such a good help.
Thank you. Remember, help save the bees.
What we just talked about is bees give life to most of our favorite foods. The bees contribute to the whole world's food source. With the plants they pollinate, they are able to feed 90% of the world. That's incredible. Just imagine, you're having a cheeseburger for your dinner meal. Most of the meal probably came from work of all those bees. When you think about it, the meat and the cheese came from a cow, which are fed plants that are pollinated from bees. Then the bread comes from wheat, which is also from bees. And even the lettuce and tomato comes from bees. It's really impressive what different food items bees can give us. Here's a honeybee hive, and this hive is healthy for the most part, but other hives aren't as lucky as this one. We are not exactly sure what's wrong with the bees, but we know what the result is. The bees are healthy, but after a while they get sick and pass away. With the sudden drop of the bee populations, the first people to be affected are the people who care for the bees. Here we have local beekeeper Danny. Now, in recent police studies and police reports, there have been incidents of beekeeping crimes. Like, for instance, like people are stealing other people's bees. Has any of this happened to you?
Just a few weeks ago, some robbers took about half of my hives.
How many bees exactly have you lost in the past year or so?
I can't tell you exactly how many, but it's just about near a quarter of all my bees are all gone.
I'm really sorry for your loss, but like, what are you gonna do if you can't recover from this?
Well, tell you, if I can't make my money back, I have to sell my bees and everything else I got.
This is tragic. Since the bees are dying, the beekeepers are unable to survive. The demand for honey is at its highest ever. Then, if you take in that the bees are disappearing, they don't have enough resources to make the honey. Since they can't make the honey, the beekeepers lose business and then money for wasted goods that they have to pay for out of pocket. Beekeeping is now harder than ever. Keepers are having to resort to selling their bees just so they can eat. Then, if the bees are being sold, they may not receive the care that they need, which could cause more to perish. So, we don't exactly know how the bees are dying. So, let me introduce you to my next guest, Jennifer Gold, bee specialist, and she's going to tell us how the bees are dying.
Well, scientists and caretakers have been looking into this for some time now, and we do believe that we found, in some cases, an answer, if you will. These can range from genetically modified crops to, let's see, certain diseases that have come across and started developing within the beehives. Another pest, just to list a few, humans actually. We kill a lot of bees.
So, we finally found the actual problems, but are there any solutions to those?
Well, sadly, we haven't been able to really combat the problems. The main problem, I would say, being, humans. It's going to take a global change. It's going to take a really big change to get these bees the proper care that they need and deserve. We do rely on bees a lot.
So, Jennifer, what exactly would happen if all the bees disappeared?
Well, since the bees pollinate most of the world's crops, the extinction of bees would mean, well, the extinction of food as we know it.
With that being said, what would happen if the plants, all the plants in the world, disappeared due to the loss of bee pollination?
Well, it's a good point to bring up there, Jason. Since the bees do pollinate most of the plants, and then the bees become extinct, oh gosh, plants wouldn't be able to regrow, reproduce. We'd be very, very messed up and in a state of chaos, if you ask me. Sort of like a zombie apocalypse.
Wow, that's incredible how just a small, insignificant insect could matter like life or death to anything, like humans as we know it.
Yes, really plants are the base of the food pyramid, if you will. So without plants, or I should say without the bees, we won't have the plants. Without the plants, we won't have the food. And without the food, we all just starve and then everyone dies.